Time off that busy schedule. Let the music play on.
I got my first real six string, bought it at the five and dime.
Voice of the people. 96.1 FM.
You're simply the best.
Alright, correct afternoon to all of you where they listen. Brotherly, where they listen to Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja. And don't forget, say, me, myself, and I, Fresh Talk, the High Priest on radio. Now, even the hearing voice once you reach this moment, and I say we're going to roll them together from one corner to another corner. Right now, they for the segment what they call Address the Issue. And truly, we get a better and special person with us this afternoon, CSP Ebere Amarizu, and the National Coordinator of Pokakov. You're welcome, sir.
Well done.
Welcome, sir. All right, I hope say the introduction complete. I began that one where you're supposed to put all those MFI and all those things there on top.
The most important thing is say you don't put the name, you don't put where they come from.
All right, I forgot to also say if they come from Force Headquarters Abuja. All right, and then as person will be the national coordinator of Pokakov, we would really like first of all we could know what in this Pokakov mean.
Yeah, Pokakov na police campaign against cultism and other vices. We be MPF Community Policing Initiative and public relations too. By the Nigerian Police Force to engage with relevant stakeholders and multi-agencies with a view to addressing issues that has to do with young minds' involvement into membership of unlawful societies or organized criminal groups. The unlawful societies here means cultism we are talking about and other related issues. You know, finding out why young minds join and how we can also tackle it, address it, because it's a kind of problem solving.
Okay.
But this time around, we work with relevant stakeholders and multi-agencies under the community-oriented policing tenets. So that's what Pokakov is all about.
All right, and you feel let us know whether this Pokakov they everywhere for Nigeria and be get some states where you go find them.
Pokakov day everywhere, even from the music where our ambassadors sing to. Say Pokakov day everywhere.
Okay.
Because there's no place where you go where you know guys for Niger where you know go fit see Nigerian police force. They are there. They have larger networks. So Pokakov now police program. Any place where police there, Pokakov day there.
All right. As you take mentioned before about talk about Pokakov. So the question what I want to ask now be say, waiting where you feel say this Pokakov they do differently from waiting the Nigerian police they do before on how to tackle crime for the society.
Waiting did they do differently? We say, did they look and say most of the things where you see where they make young minds can't enter into unlawful activities. Most of them they revolve around mindset.
Okay.
So what we do is we change mindsets, which by exposing them to critical thinking and build confidence, strengthen their resilience, to weaken their entrance or their possible recruitment into organized criminal groups or membership of unlawful societies. So what we are doing by that activity is cutting the supply chain and conveyor belts So that's why it is all about mobilization, partnership, participation, and problem solving. So that's what we're doing.
All right. When you don't try to prevent people to enter this to get involved in all this crime, then people who don't join the crime already. People don't join crime already because once they don't join, they don't commit. Maybe the one other body for NPF don't arrest them. Because me, I don't come to understand. Say when person don't reach one kind of level for crime, it don't master am. Which role way Poker Cup they play to revive people who don't already enter?
The role they play, we are involved in advocacy, awareness creation, sensitization, reorientation, and mentoring. So that kind of person, within we they do them now, involving them into our mentoring program.
Okay.
What we they do, because he go begin first of all find out why he live normal life where in they live.
Begin do all those kind
Begin
of
do those kind of things. So he go like him as you won't hear him. Waiting make him. He go tell you say, bros, you get as he be, man, more this. He will begin tell you those kind of a thing too. Then from there, when I go begin talk. So that's why with the engagement process, now you go begin find out the various problems faced by people and what they feel that makes them to cross over to the red line. We call it crossing over because we have 3 lines. We have the blue line, which is normal line. We have the yellow line, which is line of vulnerability, and the red line. This one you're talking about, those that have crossed over to that place already. So we are dealing, though our target is those at the yellow line. That's why it's called prevent. Those are the yellow line. But those that have also crossed too, then getting the message, and you can also trace their way back. Maybe because they were not there by virtue of the fact that they want to be there. Most of them are there because of peer group influence, or they are there because of one issue or the other. So these issues, you will find them out and see how through stakeholders and multi-agencies partnership and participation, then you render alternative meaningful pathways, which will make the person return back to the normal life.
Say most times this crime thing they happen most times for grassroots. You get any activity where they go on? Because if you check, most times when you go that grassroots part, now arrest, now they always they happen. Most times now arrests, counter attack, all those things. Then it gets programs where they prevent these people from that grassroots level where these things they start from. Because now there where we say, like you take talk now, even if picking good from house now, can't let her begin to join some kind of bad group. Before you know, you don't begin to spoil small. You get activities then where they ground to feed use they curtail these things then from grassroots so that we just say we get society where they even if not they totally free from crime and these vices they don't they reduce to minimal level.
Yeah, if you look at it, one of the things that makes someone to go to crime and all that is kind of everything is just about mindset.
Okay.
It's just all about mindset and perception and all that. So what we have done is, and this is as a result of the person not discovering the potential that is in him. Because if you don't know your worth, if you don't know the potential in you, if you are not certain about what the future holds for you, that today, if you're not champion today, you're going to be champion tomorrow. All you need to do is to keep pushing, keep being on a normal line, keep being law abiding, keep making efforts, then you will see that the Lord will expand your coast and all that. So if you don't understand it, maybe you want to get it quickly, you want to make it at all costs and all that, then there are people. That's why I said, okay, markets, criminal market, then there are those people there that was okay, be looking at as somebody that they can use, as somebody can draw in. So we have programs like Poker Club Inspires. We have program like community sports, like high performance, community sports.
Okay.
Yes, taking the center stage of we call it Ada Obe, neighborhood football, neighborhood, taekwondo, and all that. We use it to strengthen community resilience and also build the confidence and of the person, restore him back, and to tell him that yes, champions are not just made, but they work hard and they have a belief and essentially that they have to remain law-abiding. Then we have other programs like reading competition. They have also for schools. We have also the ones we engage them on debate, like integrity debate,
Okay.
which we use this integrity debate to expose them to critical thinking. We look about values, morals, standard, and discipline, and also try to preach contentment, because the issue why there's deviation from this is because they've been able to live out from the value system, the morals, the standard, and discipline, and these are the holders of whatever thing we are doing. These are the ethos. So we try to bring them there, but you don't just come and hijack them and bring them, but you try to bring an activity, then impute all those programs, your intention, the objectives into this particular program. So by the time you roll it out and they participate, that's why we talk about enhancing participation. When they participate, they'll be able to imbibe this particular thing and begin to see that maybe they are making mistakes from the things that they have already done.
Yes.
And they wouldn't want to. Once, just like you looking at the mirror and finding out what you have done, looking at your past history, say, oh, if I only had known, I made mistake here and all that. So this is exactly what I try to remind, because human beings, human minds need to be constantly reminded. So that's exactly what I do. So we are involved in awareness creation. We interface, with relevant stakeholders and mortgages at every level, even at the community, because it's a community-driven program of the Nigerian Police Force. So,
Okay, before you become vocal corps coordinator, first you be policeman. So as a policeman, now, a person can confess to you, maybe in the mind of vocal corps, he can confess to you, say, see what I did do before. So which of the one go first? Which part of you go first come first? Now say as a policeman, this man don't do this one, he don't offend according to law, suppose arrest and keep. Or as vocal corps person, now you go now say, okay, make we begin the revive this one, bring him out from what he did before, because who commit offense don't commit offense.
yes.
So at that point now, how you want to treat that issue?
Remember, you stated that he came on his own. That's a lot of them have always come to us.
Okay.
Like places where we've worked, where we made remarkable impacts, in River State, for instance.
Okay.
Yes, where a whole lot of them turn out, their weapons and all that, and say, we don't want this, we are quitting. And we have some stakeholders that also help to engage them, meaningfully, with alternative, meaningful pathways, into pipeline wedding and other people, working with the police, that identify with the police. They are all police stakeholders. So if one come and say, this is what I've been doing, I've been disturbing my mind and all that, and I erroneously got into this, and it was how I got there, it does not call for arrest. Where you find out more sincerely where he's coming from, and that's why we talk about mentoring. You need to mentor him and win him back, because he was there because there was nobody there for him. Maybe that was why some people join crime and criminality, because they feel that nobody was there for them. And that's exactly why we use the game of chase. If you look at here, you see chase. That also, these were activities that we did in Abuja,
Okay.
With one group called NIC, National Industrial Safety Council of Nigeria, which we did for our schools in Abuja. Here you can see them too. So using the instrumentality of chase, because it has to do with strategic planning, strategic thinking, creative thinking, and all that, knowing the consequences of your action, so that you already know with this, you'll be able to know the consequences. So if you have known the consequences of actions, okay, this, he will come back to you, say, look, you're like, you run to a priest that you have done wrong. Hey, I didn't know this or that. Then the priest now carry you to this. No, you are just meant to make sure that you don't go back to it again, and find out, look at those laps through which you walk into that, the pathways that led you to that, and make sure that you shut it off and all that. So we have been getting them, and there are a lot of them. Most of them are even working with us too.
So anybody will come out now
on your own, you just come say that
on
I'm
your
not,
own.
yes, I'm not part of it, that this or that, maybe you, in that we're interested in that. We're interested in winning back the soul, getting you, making sure that you contribute meaningfully to the society.
So, but the one way police arrest by themselves, how won't they handle those ones?
Those ones will be taken care of. Those ones will be taken about. Those ones will go into law enforcement, because if they get you already, you would have committed one thing or the other,
Yes.
and they arrested you too. So we cannot shut you off from facing the law. So that's just one thing too.
Okay, so which means Bukakov mainly now to prevent the thing from
Yes,
happening.
prevent. We are just concerned with prevent. That prevents policing.
Okay.
That's what we're
But
preventing.
recently, we don't dey get so many report about child trafficking. We will talk about that. Make our first announce this number. Yeah, as you listen to us right now and you want to come out on top of the matter, we'll get CSP Ebere Amarizu, the national coordinator of POCACOV from Force Headquarters here at Abuja. The number now 0700-010-961-961. I take them again 0700-010-961-961. If you send us WhatsApp message on top of that number, or you call us, feel free. Ask any question where you want to ask. In the year life and the right to answer your questions. We'll get from now till 4 to run on this matter. So if you get question where you want to ask, send them coming. If you want to send them on top of WhatsApp, send them too. But if you feel like say you want to go meet them one-on-one, you don't want to expose, I think say we will later allow making let us know where you go from go contact them. But right now, maybe they go back to that question I want to ask before. We don't get so many information about complain about child trafficking. You get one we ask it today for social media where the woman they confess how she carry they do the business, they sell children. We also don't see the one with them bust for Abia State. We don't see them bust for Ogun State. That child trafficking, we'll call them crime or vice.
Yes, the child trafficking you are talking about is also crime and it's also a vice.
Okay.
It's both.
Okay.
Yes, the child trafficking because human beings are involved. You get human beings, subject human beings to inhuman treatment. You sell or you use human beings to begin to do some certain things that ordinarily they're not supposed to be used for that. You know, under humanity and all that. So you dehumanize people and all that. So we look at it from that angle. So it's also a vice. So we don't want that.
So how we want to prevent that one? Because now that one ain't the rain now. Almost everybody they enter that one. It be like now the raining job for most women now.
That one has many layers.
Okay.
That child trafficking you're talking about, that's what we call it. We call it trafficking in persons, and smuggling. Yes, trafficking in persons / smuggling of migrants. TIPSOM, they're under TIPSOM, which is being handled by NAPTIP, right?
Yes.
But under the we partner, we work to work
because
to
if
raise the awareness.
If people work off, they focus on to prevent crime. And we say since that one advice as well, or crime rather.
Yeah,
we suppose also took eye on how to prevent that thing from happening.
Yeah, we're already engaging with the communities because we find out they will get the stakeholders, which has to do with parents, guardians, caregivers.
Okay.
We're engaging them on how to. That's under the community-based crime prevention approach that we're also adopting. The parents, because all the stakeholders have to be involved. We also have to look at community leaders, where we now begin to talk about the issue of this. Now, at what point or what will even make one to cede or to consent into or take the decision of selling out the child? What will even make one? We are looking at that. So we begin to discuss about that. Does it mean that we don't love that person? We don't love mankind and all that? Then we'll begin to look at it from that angle. Then what can be done within this and who to hold responsible? So that's why we're bringing all stakeholders on board. Begin to look at it from there because you need to raise the awareness. And raising the awareness means that you have to bring all stakeholders on board. Bring all their hands on deck. Remember, we are talking about community policing. So bringing them on board. So we begin to look at it that when this is not right, this is not supposed to be due, this is the action we are supposed to taking and all that. We will raise it. Once you begin to talk about things, once awareness are raised, once people are sensitized, then you now discover that it will make it difficult for people still to remain hell-bent in carrying out that nefarious activities and all that.
So who born Pikin now, Seller? Still commit the same crime?
Yes, if you born, they're going to go say that. Why?
So what will be the
because if they have sold you, if your mother has given birth to you and sold you, you wouldn't have been working here today.
Okay.
Maybe someone will know. Yes, that's why bring up a child in a way that you should go. When you depart from it, you will not. When you grow up, you will not depart from the way. That's the way of the Lord.
And that way again, we say when I want correct Pikin we don't already derail, begin they do anyhow. You discover say the fault from the origin, the parents. Again, how I think they get the parents involved for this reorientation to rearrange their mind because so many children we don't misbehave today. If you trace and well and their parents now mislead them.
Yes.
You get how they get them
Let me
involved.
tell you, program what we do, say our programs are targeted.
Okay.
It's not haphazardly done. We target the program so that at the end of the day we'll be able to measure the impact, and this we have been doing. So in targeting them, we look at who are the stakeholders meant for this particular issue that you want to look at. So that's why the parents come into play. The parents, caregivers, and guardians. You bring them. Then we'll now begin to, because either the parents, the caregivers, who also could be an uncle, or could be this or that, the person whom the child solely believed on, that if he tells, if he tells the child anything, the child is bound to obey, and that's how it begins. So you can say, okay, follow this person, go and do this and all that. So we also bring them and begin to ask them this vital question there, because one, that person you are trying to dehumanize could also, if you handle it well, could also come up to own a station like this, begin to employ people, begin to contribute his quota meaningfully to the society. These are the things they don't know, because human beings are created, in the image of, in likeness, in image and likeness of God.
Yeah.
Yes, so but it's just a kind of, we begin to mentor them. We don't look at them as whoever, say who is this person. When you see a human being, you must have to develop that love. That's what humanity holds. And begin to say, okay, this person, tomorrow it can be this, next tomorrow it can be this. Nobody knows tomorrow. But if you begin to say, okay, yeah, this person, I'm going to say this person, or I'm going to use this person for this and all that, it's possible that the person that would have even changed the society, that you have erroneously used that person to. So we begin to talk about, and moreover, if your parents had done that to you, you would have ceased to exist. So why doing it to this other person there too? So every human being are all important. That's what we're emphasizing.
So now we say if we find out issues where concern parents, they involve parents. What if we find out the issues then we be saying that government or lack of government function now influence the issue? How now they take come into them? How they take call government to others? See, this the way this thing they happen now we cause them. For example, you go some schools now where the classrooms they very bad, and students no dey fit sit down for, they no get chairs for class. They will just enter class, no chairs to sit down, or even no teacher. They will not get opportunity to begin to patrol the school premises, or they go patrol around the full village. From there they go begin to join bad gang. That one now you no go to blame parents, you no go blame you. Now, that one now if you say that government now get the blame. How will I take bring government into this one? Say government, this is the way.
Make a correct one impression. When they say government, who are government? Government na me and you, na individuals. Government don't run the school. Government don't run anything. It's individuals that run. They, they govern through individuals like you. Just like if we cannot be talking about what's this place? Voice FM, right? Voice of the People FM. So if you're talking about Voice of the People FM, I know that say maybe the MD this or that. It's not the MD. The MD. I'm not interfacing with the MD here. Okay. I'm interfacing with the people that he has employed. That's what I mean. Who are represented, because he felt that he has given to you. So when you don't do things properly, then it will not begin to go into that axis that we are talking about. Is this human being that will come and change? Have you not seen human beings work in a school change the face of that school? Because one, the persons that own the school must have made those provisions. That's why no organization is bad, but it depends on the people working there. That's why we are talking about reorientation, value reorientation, so that we can change our mindset, then return back to those things that revolves around standard, morals, and discipline, so that we can get it, right, at least for once. Because one, if you, for instance, you already know that this is the right way, and you are going towards that side, and they bring you in to take care of a particular organization or a particular school, for instance, or community leader and all that, you will try to bring up all those your values of experience to the bear and change the faces, of that particular community, that particular environment you find yourself, with any available resources, within you, which must be there. But there are some, you have it, you won't do those ones too, and they try to say, okay, well, every time you keep on complaining and all that, that is problem solving. You get people and find out what is the problem you are having in your domain. What is the problem you have in that environment you find yourself? What is the problem you have at any given? So we are able to identify this problem. Then you now to be able to find a solution to this and involve yourself in problem solving.
All right, this poker curve. If you just give us more history about them, because like who and who they listen now, like want to know much about this poker curve before we go back to the things we want to do.
Yes, poker curve, like I told you, 9B MPF community policing initiative
Okay.
and also public relations tool. They map them out, make with the work with members of the community,
Okay.
find out what the problems are when it has to do with youth involvement in crime, vices, and all that, so that you begin to find, because before you solve problem, you need to identify the problem.
Yes.
So you don't identify the problem alone. It is only when you engage, you find out the kind of problem in that axis. Maybe the children, because that's why we also work in the school with, for instance, we work with the guidance and counseling unit with a view to finding out those on their record of ASB, that is antisocial behaviors, and those that have. That's why I said it's targeted. Say it's not a program that you just bring in and say, okay, let's just go here today. We have finished here today. We have gone here. It is data driven. It is intelligence-led police, under intelligence-led police, and evidence-based. So what you do your mapping and be able to get all these things, but you don't do it alone because members of the societies are involved. You are working with a whole lot of society. That's under a whole lot of society approaches.
So
that's
how long this poker curve done?
Yes, poker curve took off midway 2019 when it was nationally flagged off by the Nigerian Police Force in Enugu, and nationally launched by Nigerian Police Force 2020, and that's I think March it was launched, nationally at NAF Center was the venue and all that, and by that launch, that's now give the direction for its domestication to the 36 states of the Federation, and including FCT. So we have volunteer members.
Okay.
Then we have volunteer members. We have ambassadors. Then we also have student community relations members, because we work in the school too. Then we also have programs like activities like poker curve in my community, poker curve in my school, and poker curve in my family. Like that's why we emphasize on the family, because the family is the home, is the immediate environment of any child. That's why we're hammering on that is the first one. For a society to be better, then we have to look at the family. The family has to be better. We have to kind of improve the well-being of the family. We have to look at the parents, how they carry out their parental responsibility. That's why we talk about hashtag responsive and responsible parenting under Our Children Must Thrive. So we also do a program on high performance community sports activities, through which we engage young minds into various sporting activities to strengthen their resilience and also to inspire them on how to become a champion. That's why we call about Poker Cup Inspires. And we also involve them in debate, integrity debate. And integrity debate is the activity that we use to bring up our value system, the national values, the national core values. It has to do with contentment, patriotism, and a whole lot of this standard discipline. These are the things too. And making you to go towards this ethos.
But so this vices thing now and this crime, not be only kids and teenagers they fall inside. When the thing gets to do with an adult, old man, because if I believe say drug addiction and abuse supposed to follow for one of the things where they handle.
Yes.
So what say sometimes some top or elderly people they get involved in that thing, or maybe might just say one politician we don't overdo don't get involved. How now want get access to such people? How now take work with those people to bring them out from all those things? Because sometimes some little crimes, some small crime then where youth they involve in, some elderly people they follow put hand to. So when elderly people they involve, that because then if you say at a certain age person don't form character finish, don't form finish. Now to begin change them na process. You get how they take they involve on another department for arrest and brain rearrange, or they use guidance and counseling formats to use bring them out? I mean, if you reach spiritual method, if you use spiritual method, just bring them out.
You know what we are doing, what basically we're, even those ones who have such program for them, because we are involved in prevent, and the prevent, one of the tools prevent policing is psychosociological. So it's not a kind of arresting you, it's a kind of, you know, involving you or exposing you through series of critical or strategic thinking. That's why when we engage, we get when we are, it depends on our target, when we are targeting them. It depends on the people we are targeting. It depends on what we have on the ground. Like if you are targeting the elderly, the one you call the elderly, we are targeting them as members of the community. They are community members. So what message do we have on the ground? The message we have on the ground is that, one, that they should act as role model. They should act as, because inability of the people we call elderly person, well, which is under parents. That's why you have parents, guardians, and caregivers. Virtually every person are parents.
Say you want picking up, say the parents.
No, that's so parents. So now, what I say that, one, you should act as a role model, because the young minds are watching you. They are looking at you out there. You are their mentor. They are looking at this person. Maybe as you broadcast here right now, a lot of people are listening to you. Young minds who also want to, you know, be like you someday and all that. So, and they are seeing the kind of behavior you are, you know, you are exhibiting. You can see the kind of dressing, maybe your haircut and all that. You know, this can also influence young minds to go into negativism and all that, because they will be thinking that it's a way of life. So we say, okay, no. They'll be thinking that it's a culture, that for this man to have come like this, maybe you do your ass level, that is sustainable, that's good.
That is normal.
But then, yes, that's normal. These are the things. But the issue is that they should put themselves within the circumference of those things that has to do with values, standard, and discipline. These are the things we are talking about. So once they begin to do that, so young mind can also emulate from them and say, yes, how I wish I am like this person and all that. And we can do that way, we can have a better society, a changed society too. Then for those of them that are also taking that way, yes, most of them uses it as a coping skills. Most people, maybe they won't be able to, they are afraid of facing the reality on ground. They are afraid of also facing the future, the challenges before them. Life is full of challenges. Whether you, at any point you meet one challenge or the other. Even when you finish up with this obstacle, another one is bound to occur. And not that, because you cannot graduate from school without taking tests or examinations. So you must be tested. So these challenges standing as your examination, standing as your test, standing as a kind of your evaluating you to make it to now finding out whether, yes, this person you can walk your talk, maybe that you have come of age, whether you can now, so that you can cross over. So you can finish it and cross over, you become that champion. Now, most people are afraid of facing these challenges. So what do they do? Or they are shy, you know, to face these challenges. So what they do, that they get themselves involved in negative coping skills. Negative coping, yes, to survive, to face the reality on ground, and which is not, you know, advisable. The negative coping skills revolve around the use of substance and drug abuse, to make sure they run away from the problem. But eventually, when it clears off from their eyes, they still come back to meet all that particular problem. But that time, harm would have been done into the organs and all that.
But you get area where one mood check up something. Person way this school, way out of intimidation, he can't join something. Can't later can repent, or can't wish say one change. Maybe can't come across poker cup. They can't begin the work on them. Waiting you get into a poker cup fit do with those other people where force them enter the team, we still there inside, because the people where force them enter still there. But now him don't decide say no one live that kind of life again. He won't come out.
Yes.
But na person him push him into that crime.
Yes. The person will push them there.
You get people who say where they don't really initiate by force. And once they don't initiate you by force, you don't join, you don't begin to do activities. But you don't like the lifestyle, you want now come out.
Yeah.
Those people who carry them go there by force, or people who pressure them into that thing by force. You get anything where Pukakov go do about those other people?
Yes, what we're interested in the person that have shown, you know, that remorse, that have shown the concern
to come out,
not to be part of them. While we're also making messy, pushing messy. Maybe he may have had the message because we push out messages for them to change their mind. That's which touched them
To come out.
to come out. The message is going on then calling you not to go that way. That way leads to destruction. Maybe you will not hear the message like as you're listening right now. Then you have to come and approach, sir. I want to pull out really that this thing have been disturbing me. Then we have many of them that have just come out.
I get that point. Now.
Okay.
But the point where you are they asking and say
The
person
people
will
push am,
join, person will push am enter.
Yeah.
Or person will pressure am enter.
Yes.
Or person can go initiation site.
Yes.
Initiate am by force. And he don't talk say no want to again, he don't come to program cough, he don't change. And he don't confess, say see how he carry enter. The person will carry am enter, we already know say if he go fit carry him and other person enter, is they capable of carrying other people to enter.
Once that person see what usually, because we've met this kind of situations at various levels. Once this kind of person pull out from this, then automatically he has disconnected from that person that pushed him on, or even the other group there too, because the issue is that they are no longer the same. That person will no longer be coming nearer to him, because you'll be feeling that he's going. You make some revelation.
But no vex. I want to start the courtism.
Okay, clear. Okay.
You know, say sometimes when you pull out from courtism,
Yes.
that group where you pull out from will always come after you.
Yes.
Number one, they say.
But not always.
Eh?
Not always.
If you don't graduate, pull out. If you see the student, you join as a student. You come pull out as a student. You know they really they say. And now you come pull out, come say you come meet Pokakov, come explain. You get any level of protection where Pokakov will assure you. That one now one. Two. Now those people will carry you enter. You get any because I believe say since Pokakov now one branch for inside the NPF. Then get other sectors too for inside NPF where be maybe anti-court or something. Pokakov they do anything like to tell anti-court, okay, this guy don't pull out from here. But it be like say if they get threat from here and these people then push them into this thing.
Yes.
When I feel go do so thing for us.
Once the person pull out from us, we have his data and all that. Now, he begin now to get threats, assuming begin to get threats for that. They will further push it out to those the anti-court body that deals with core law enforcement.
Okay.
Then while we still continue to work on this person so that he does not go back to that particular place, because the threat is for him to go back, for him to pull back, and which is going to be suicidal and all that because he has left. We have many of them that are working, and these are the ways through which we held them. Like I can give you, okay, let me give you one instance. That's one, the initiator of Vision Saver. If you just check Facebook, you see Vision Saver. Vision Saver was a high-powered, court person. Not even high-powered, he was a Capone. During the days in the school too. Until you get message like this. You get message and discover that all along that has been wallowing in a kind of negativism and all that. And the moment he realized that, he discovered that he has even wasted some few years, because he wasted some few years too before. 2 years that he had graduated, he had those ones because he wasn't running Hetas, but when he got himself on, and now he's giving testimony. There was a program he also did, at Unical. That was last 3 weeks. They did it, yes, Thunderbolts and all that. A whole lot of things that they do, walking on my and they're going up and down in campuses, using himself and that. The issue is that when you change, and when you change, you need to run away from all those connectivity that you were enjoying before. Those connectivities that you right, because if you say change, maybe you still wrong, go back, they still maintain those people as friends and all that. It's going to be suicidal and all that. That's one of the things. So a lot of people will tell you that they have changed, that they don't want. But at the backyard, at the back, they still make one or two interactions that which is suicidal. One day you hear that they are attacking. Once you pull out from that, say, okay, I am not part of you, and I'm not going to associate with you anymore. And this is my position, this is where I am, and focus on the available thing that you want to do.
This other one where I believe in advice is to ladies where they use their body as business.
Yes.
How they take attack that one? They wait until they come and be the interfield where then they always they stand, go they tell them say this life where they live no really makes sense. I mean now until they don't change their mind, come back. Now they work on them.
No, we work on them at the lower level and also at the higher level. What I mean by lower level, you have not joined, but it is showing of antisocial behavior that the person joins.
Okay.
The person doesn't join. It doesn't start. It won't just end up. It won't just start today, wear clothes and begin to do that. Once one signal you see, you begin to see ASB. You begin to show antisocial behavior. But meanwhile, we are engaging all stakeholders. When we are engaging participants, if we are targeting them and engaging them, we are not tagging them that you know. We are looking at them as your normal human beings, and go ahead to drop the message that we have. That is it. Go ahead to drop the message. But you have to highlight the negative implication, because they're only seeing the positive, side of it that makes them. That's what we'll be telling you, even in cultism.
If person really join that once, as once girl thing,
Yes.
really join that because of say no see job.
Yes, see job. Things they difficult for them. There's financial hardship.
Exactly.
These are things they will start telling you now.
So
Good.
as Pukako want do revitalization or rehab things like that.
Yeah.
Again, anyhow, Pukako they reach out to some firms for openings like employment.
That's what I'm telling you. What we do is that we don't give person money. Of course, Nigerian police don't have that money to give. But what we do, I'm coming. That's why we work with stakeholders at the multi-agencies. Okay. To create alternative, meaningful pathways. Okay. Those alternative, meaningful pathways is that one, you are saying that you don't have anything doing. You understand me, for instance. Now, you will be made like there's one we are doing with under prevents with clean foundations and all that. Those ones are taking place in Zamfara, Lagos, Edo, and Bayelsa. These are 4 pilot states. We're also using 2. So those ones, you could be trained. Those ones could be trained on that skill, entrepreneurship and all that. You finish from there, then you'll be giving up a starter pack, with which you can use. They're not only giving you that, once you are give you starter pack, then we still follow up, monitor, because you have to evaluate. They say monitor the person for a period and see. That's exactly what you have to monitor the person. Most of them have, showing, they say, offices and that, yes. Yes, they get is startup cap. Yeah, you set the person up and train. Okay. But first of all, you need to kind of work on the mindset of the person. That's what they are seeing, because that thing we are looking at, that is not as as like that too. That way they see like that, no be like that way in be. And that's why you have this problem there too, because you be telling you that, because they be telling you say, I get one business, this order by the time he hit in hammer. How you go take hit? How you go take hammer?
All right, we'll go allow at this point, because if we take our time, it don't be like say it don't begin the hit the endpoint small. But the main thing they say with the people they listen right now don't really understand the message, but they need to know where, just in case person feels say he won't just come meet you or come office or any contact. Anyhow, if you direct our listeners where if you come to assess you for more details, because some people don't touch their mind now. If you want to, okay, I need to go talk to this man, I know whether I get way out. Where then if you come meet us?
We get offices. Book of day everywhere there, the command. But if you want to see me, I'm really available if I'm here, because I know this is not for office per se, but because I feel be said I don't dare for Medugri, I don't dare for this or that. But for now, if you find out, you can get me for opposite force headquarters. Okay. For police public relations school. We the opposite force headquarters. Nadia way Pokakov day. Okay. Nadia way in day for as headquarters. Okay. But we there for all the command. But you can also get us from Twitter. You can inbox us. Okay. Give us direct inbox message for Twitter at Pokakov NG. Okay. At Pukakov Inch, direct inbox message, then we can now know what and how to approach and where to direct you, and our people have been doing that. Then you can also get us, you can also access our website at www.pokakov.com. Okay. www.pokakov.com. Okay. You can also get us at Instagram, pokakov.ing. Then we're on Facebook, Pokakov. Then on TikTok, you can get us there, Pokakov_ing. We are there, so you can get that's what, so that you can get us young minds, so we can listen to you, find out what's happening and all. If you follow us, you see, a whole lot of things that you need to learn, work with you, find out what your problem are, and where you are really, so that's
All right, we'll get your final message, but don't forget, just in case you miss any of the message and you won't get details, if it's sending message to our studio line, I'll come across them and I go pass the link to you on how tough now if you take connect. But over to you, CSP Ebere Amarizu. Your final message to our listeners this evening.
No, it's not going to be the final message.
Okay, today. The final message
It's not even
now.
today too, because
Okay, your message,
my
your
message
your roundup message.
is continuous because it's campaign, so we keep giving message.
Your roundup message for this interview.
Yes, as far as this interface is concerned, the message is that we will tell young minds out there that they should not allow their emotion to cause commotion for them. They should always look, deeply on a certain storyline that could be presented by the person whom they love so much, or whom they cherish, whom they regard as their friends, or even as their uncles and all that, the storyline and all that. They should also look at who is their friend and what the friend is associated with and those things, and never allow them, to push them into negativism, because most people go into negativism without even knowing why they are there. Maybe because of one thing, they pushed him to that place there too. And they should be law abiding and they be focused. And remember that the future belongs to those who knows the beauty of it.
All right, nice one. Thank you very much, CSO Ebere Amarizu, National Coordinator, Poker Cup. I will say, may God bless you as you take a walker. Come join us here today. Tell us all the things we don't tell us, we really help us for the talk today. Thank you very much. And right now, because make allow you and make you go attend to other things. As national coordinator, where you be, a lot of activities go there your head already. You really don't try. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Activities we're past building society, because we are building the society.
Okay.
That's it.
Nice one, sir.